Hello, everyone, and you're welcome to another edition of The Other Side of the Bridge. Sorry, I've been away for quite a while. Been busy with a whole lot of things, but hey, I'm back and back right on time. A lot has happened in the past week. We signed Joao Felix. I already talked about the Pedro Neto signing. Um, yeah, Chelsea's, we seem to be going up and up. Gallagher has left the club. Right, issues with Raheem Sterling. We're going to be discussing a whole lot of things. But to kickstart the show, hey, Chelsea 6, Wolves 2. I mean, trust me, nobody saw that coming. I mean, in your wildest dreams, you didn't see that coming. Chelsea winning away from home, 6 goals to 2. I mean, it's simply marvelous. And yeah, credit to the coach, credit to the players. At halftime, really, I really wasn't happy with the way we were being torn open by the Wolves attacking line. Um, but hey, something clicked in the second half. What probably something the coach said to the players, but they took it all in and they came out all guns blazing. I mean, it was a superb match for the Chelsea fans, maybe the neutrals also, but it was a woeful day for Wolves. Yeah, our boy Cole Palmer doing his thing, 3 assists and a beautiful, awesome goal. Seriously, he really can't put a foot wrong for the past year or so. Cole Palmer has been outstanding. Also, credit to Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson has been in for a lot of criticism. He didn't really play much except for like 1, 2 games in preseason. But hey, having Jackson back, you know, doing his thing, the way he connects with the midfield, the way he interlinks his play. I mean, it's really wonderful. And speaking of getting another striker like Osimhen is quite good. Don't get me wrong, but I really love the way Jackson links up with the players around him. And if he can sort out his feet in terms of goal scoring, I think, trust me, he's going to be one of the best strikers in the globe. Yeah, a debut for Joao Felix. A stunning goal also. It made it look so easy. I mean, Felix came on and, he kind of did his thing. A lot of people have been skeptical about the move, but hey, I've been all thumbs up for that move. I mean, Felix is a quality player. We can't take anything away from Joao Felix. And he proved it once again with a sublime finish. So cool, so calm, so calculated. And I would really like to see the way he will fit into this team because Felix plays more like a second striker, more like a 10 sometimes. He can also play on the left wing, but I think he's going to be predominantly used in the midfield, very close to the strikers. But hey, that's a headache for the coach. So we'll see how he gets to, put this lineup out in terms of playing Nkunku, Felix, Neto, Madueke, Palmer, all together in that attacking, lineup. But enough said about the attack. The attack was crazy good. Madueke was on fire. I mean, I can't let him out of this praise. A hat trick for Madueke. I think his first ever hat trick. I'm not too sure, but I guess so. And the Wolves fans were giving him stick all game. And, he came out blazing. And I really like what I saw from Madueke, especially, not always cutting to his left all the time. He became a little predictable, when he's with the ball on the right flank. Everybody expects him to cut to his left and, take a shot. But, he scored 2 goals with his right foot. I mean, that shows that he's growing as a player, giving the defenders something else to think about. So that unpredictability, is going to make him an awesome player for us. There were rumors about selling Madueke since we got Pedro Neto, but honestly, I think he should stick with the team. I think he's a quality player. Neto is also good, but we all know his injury records. And yeah, Neto can really do something for us on the left wing, maybe sometimes swap over to the right. But for now, I think Madueke should stick with this team, not just because he scored a hat-trick, but Madueke has always been one direct player. Like he goes, you know he's going to, go at a defender and probably cut to his left and take a shot. And we really don't have that, player with that skill set in terms of going directly at defenders. And so very, very, kudos to the young boy. He really did well in that match. Now, speaking of our attacking, I think we should go back to the defense. Our defense were in shambles, to be honest. Um, Fofana, Chilwell, Fofana Cole partnership, I really don't want to see that again. Two youngsters that are not really at the best of their game right now. I think there should be not necessarily an older player, but a player with much more experience than these two. And that's where Tosin Adarabioyo comes in. Say what you like about him, free transfer, whether he's going to be able to step into the shoes of Thiago Silva, but hey, he's the older one among that defensive pairing, and I think he has this calm solidity about him. And if we're not getting Trevor Chalobah back into the squad, I think a player like Tosin Adarabioyo should be right there, trying to direct that back line. Or maybe Disasi has already been touted to be being sold, and probably if Disasi is sold, we won't have any reason to sell Chalobah. But I'd like to see how the club will go about that after, keeping him out of preseason and the whole embarrassment. I mean, I'm going to talk about our club's treatment of the players pretty soon, but I just want to get through the game. Lots of positives in the attack, but like I said, lots of negatives in the defense. Cucurella, the left back, Gusto, the right back, they made a lot of mistakes, but most importantly, the center pairing, there was no real command in that defense, and we were torn open countless times in the first half. And credit to the coach, probably a little bit of pep talk or switch of tactics, and the defenders, we were not really shaky anymore. And we had a midfield pairing of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, which I think I prefer rather than having Enzo Fernandez play as a 10. I mean, that is one area of the pitch I really don't want to see him playing. We already have, the likes of Cole Palmer, which I feel playing as a 10 is his best position. Yes, he can come in from the right and also do well, but Madueke has that place cemented. Also, we have Neto, to also take that position. Speaking of negatives, also Modric, come on, man. Modric was abysmal, if that's the word to use. This is Modric's last season, to try and prove something to the fans. A lot of fans love him. Trust me, I also like him, and I really want him to do well for the club. He has a lot of promise. He's very raw, but this is his third season at Chelsea, and I think, it's about time for him to have a bit of consistency. We're not asking Modric to score 20, 30 goals or 10 assists in a season, but do the basics right. I mean, come on. Modric I know he's a player that, wants to play off. If he's confident, then he's going to give you his best. And I think that's one part, or that's one role the coach has to play in terms of Modric. You need to build his confidence, put an arm around him. But Pochettino also did that last season, and his game really still didn't stabilize. So Modric really needs to step up. I have a lot of belief in him, but he really needs to get out of his own head. Start with the basics, passing, easy passes. Don't run and leave the ball behind. But personally, I think Modric best position for me, if we want to see the best of Modric, not putting much pressure on him, having to hold on to the ball or beat a player with his speed. Personally, I think he should play as a striker, false nine maybe. I don't know what you think about that. Maybe drop a comment. Yeah, Modric doesn't need too much time to think. He's very fast, so if you give him a true ball without thinking too much, he can actually, finish quite well. He has a very good shot on him, and I really love to see Modric as a false nine. And so Enzo Maresca, if you're listening to me right now, please try out Modric in that position and let's see how it goes. Good win. Good win on Sunday, and I really want to talk about the Sterling issue. I haven't had time to have my say on it. Um, to me, Sterling went out on loan. To me, Sterling went out, with the team on preseason. He played a couple of matches. I'm not sure whether he started any, but I think he started one. But the coach had a lot of time to look at Sterling, and probably his mind is made up. He's not cut out for that system. So he really doesn't have anyone to blame. Sterling is, I think, one of the highest, if not the highest, paid players at Chelsea, the highest paid players at Chelsea. And everybody's been waiting for him to come good, but Sterling has been very, very lukewarm, mediocre most of the times. In a whole season, we might only get the best of Sterling in 2, 3 matches, which is not enough compared to the fee, over £350,000 a week that he's earning at Chelsea. So, yeah, while I have sympathy for the way, I don't think he was treated as bad as Chaluba or Conor Gallagher. So I think Sterling had his chance, or he has always had his chance in Chelsea. But to me, he's blown it, or he blew it. And yeah, the coach, the club doesn't want him anymore, and it's time for him to find a new club. Um, yeah, I'm not sure we're going to miss Sterling that much. I wish him the best, and I hope he gets a club before the transfer window shuts. Yeah, also talking about Trevor Chalobah. He's still training on its own, or he's still training with the reserve team. And I still say Chalobah is our best defender, hands down. I can understand Conor Gallagher not fitting into the coach's play, because Gallagher is more like a bullish player. He's very technical, don't get me wrong, but I can understand that. But for a defender like Chalobah, I really can't understand, because you can't tell me Fofana or Disasi or Badiashile, they are better passers of the ball, playing out of the back than Chalobah, or they are better defenders. I mean, come on, this kid's been excellent. I really think he should be reintegrated back to the team. And worst case scenario, sent out on loan, but he should not be sold. Let's wait or hold on and see if the club can have a rethink about selling him. And I feel the Chelsea fans really, really need to take things like this very serious. They really need to come out, hit back at the club or hit back at the management for selling a lot of our youngsters. This is the soul of the club. I mean, having players gone from the youth team, people like Rhys James becoming the captain, and now the captainship has been taken away from him and given to Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, you can't really blame the coach at that one, because Enzo, or rather James, has been injured for quite a while, and Chilwell seems to be, out the door, going out the door. The coach doesn't really want to use him, but hey, I think we should treat our players with respect. We're giving these players 7, 8 years contracts, and we're already seeing, the handwriting on the wall. This is how a lot of them are going to be booted out of the club. They're going to be forced out. So really, I feel, we really, really need to stop this precedent of, kicking players out. Chelsea, we've had a lot of good players come to Chelsea over the years, and we still maintain a very good relationship with a lot of our ex-players. So it shouldn't be the way it's happening now. We're going to be having, a lot of bad blood with a lot of players, and I don't think it's right. Yeah, so transfer rumors. Osimhen is being rumored to be going to play in the UAE. I think Al Hilal, I can't remember the club that is going for him, but that's the rumor. He's not coming to Chelsea. I think the issue has to do with his wage. He's refusing to drop his wage, and Chelsea are not ready to pay over 200K a week for Osimhen. Is he worth it? I think he is. I think Osimhen is quality. I think he's way better than Ivan Toney, in my honest opinion. Osimhen is the kind of player we need. But if we don't get him, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to, feel sad because I think having Gui, Jackson, and also Nkunku that can play as a nine, I think we really covered in that area. So Romelu Lukaku seems to be heading out the door. Deal has been made with Napoli, and it seems to be heading out. Yeah, Chelsea refused. I think Napoli were trying to get him on loan once again, another loan to an Italian club, and Chelsea refused. He still has about 2-3 years on his contract, but we don't want him out on loan again. He's been loaned out twice, so Chelsea took their stand. It has to be it has to be a transfer fee for him, no more loan. And yeah, he seems to be out the door, but Osimhen coming the other way is what we really don't know about. Then secondly, there's this rumor about Jadon Sancho coming to Chelsea. It's very clear these owners don't know what they're doing. And the coach really needs to put his foot down. Yeah, Pochettino tried it and got sacked, but that shouldn't be a deterrent. We don't need Sancho. Sancho is a good player, but I think we are really stacked on the wings. We've got Neto, we've got Madueke doing well. We've got even Cole Palmer plays on the wing most times. We've got Modric. So what exactly do we need a Jadon Sancho for? So it's pathetic, and I really don't think we should bail Manchester United out. Let him be sold to another club or be sent back to Dortmund, but Chelsea is not a dumping ground. And this owner seems to be going to for every player that has a price tag on them, even those that don't have a price tag, like Tosi Adarabioyo. But yeah, enough of the buying. Come on, enough of the buying. Let's work with the squad we have. Maybe we need a central defender, a very solid central defender, and probably if we can get a striker in, that should be all. No more goalkeepers, no more midfielders or wingers. We have more than enough. I think it's enough. Somebody needs to lock the bag or block the account of these Chelsea owners because it's getting way too much. We have over 40-something players, and we're still buying. And the more we buy, the more we need to sell those that we have. I mean, I'm saying that we need to sell Petrovic, who had a good season last time around. Saying that we need to sell the likes of Chilwell, we need to sell the likes of Chalobah, we need to sell, loaned out Ugochukwu already. Santos is gone. There's so many players left to either be sold or loaned out, and we're still trying to get more players out. It's real sad. I mean, people like Liverpool, clubs like Liverpool hasn't even bought any player of note. We need to put a cap on it. Having too many players does not allow the team to blend well, and we're just going to be putting in much pressure on the coach if we're not careful. So enough of the buying. Let's work with what we have and see where it gets us to, and hopefully, the team does very well. I'm not going to get carried away with the 6-2 win. Honestly, we just came out in the second half. That match could have been over in the first half and Wolves would have taken all the points. But somehow, we stuck at 2-2. And yeah, we did our thing in the second half. But it's something of note how Chelsea always put, the players always have their heads down, especially when we're losing. So it's not something I really want to see back and forth, affair. It's a very dangerous kind of play because we might not recover, going behind all the time. So Enzo needs to work on that defense. Like even throughout preseason, that has been the problem, the defense. The midfield, I think the midfield is quite okay. Caicedo, Lavia seems to be injured again already. I mean, the injury list keeps, growing, and it's become a usual theme for Chelsea now. A player like Broja, who was supposed to be loaned out, I can't remember which club right now. I think Ipswich. I'm not too sure, but he was supposed to be loaned out and he got injured in training. Come on, man. Come on. It's just our luck, man. Our luck is terrible with injuries. But yeah, the club is, the team is taking shape, and hopefully these players give their all. We don't have as much injuries as we had last season. I really hope Rhys James comes back better and fitter. But I think Gusto has been able to hold down that position. Personally, if Rhys James comes in, I think Gusto should still, be allowed to start until it is very, very, very sure that Rhys James is going to be able to handle 90 minutes or handle quite, a lot of the games. Yeah, so that's it from me. I'll keep you posted on any new dealings we have. So see you next time.